Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Scenic Astrology. My name is Makayla. I'm an evolutionary astrologer, and today we're talking about the really big Uranus North Node and Mars conjunction in Taurus at 18 degrees. That's happening on August 31st and July 31st and August 1st. You've probably seen a lot of stuff ruminating around the internet about all of the, what's to come, and so I wanted to have my piece here because I've been really thinking about it a lot deeply within my chart. This is directly opposite my Pluto at 17 degrees in my first house in Scorpio. So I know this is huge. I know this is impactful, and it's a very important transit because it is so rare. And I, wanted to help my small community and break it down a little bit for you and kind of talk about the evolutionary side and the evolutionary perspective from this transit, something that's so powerful and that can really create a major shift in your personal life. And if you have some awareness around what it's asking of you, if you're paying attention right now, then you can see the magic in your reality and in your, 3-day mundane world unfold for you. And you'll be able to navigate through this energy from a really spiritual approach, but also self-empowered approach. So if you can hear, I'm not sure if you can, but it's like randomly thundering and lightning and raining right now. And I was just outside walking my dogs and the weather was like super hot, humid, and like clear. And this to me is very, Uranus and Taurus kind of weather, just like unexpected weather. And today it's Monday, July 25th. So I do think that as this conjunction is slowly coming into effect throughout the week, that we'll start to see things slowly unfold in our lives on a microcosm level, but also on a macrocosm level. And pay attention is all I can say, is like, pay attention to your surroundings, pay attention to what you're seeing, what you're hearing, and what you're feeling, because it's all playing a really crazy part. And this energy is so explosive to me. So that I'm actually coming at it to you guys, calling it a colorful explosion. So I don't want to like freak people out, because I think this kind of transit could be so revolutionary. Like, I see this as being such a freaking game changer for us on like personal levels and major levels, that I'm like really excited to see what's happening. Like, I can't wait to see what shows up in my personal life. Like, I'm slowly getting trickles in. I'm making like these new random connections like that are happening, and I think that they're really positive and where I've been wanting to go anyway. And I'm just excited. And one of the tips that my dogs are fighting over their food. What? Uranus-Mars. One of the tips that I think we should remember over the next week or so, and next week's going to be like really super intense, like August 1st. We'll see. You'll see. Just stay grounded and be flexible, like really be flexible, really be able to bend if you need to, and to change direction if you need to. And that's one of the points that I wanted to bring out, because Mars is in conjunction with Uranus. So your direction of where you're going might change, and of course you can always look, you can just think about this where it's happening in your life. You don't even have to look at your chart. You can just kind of feel into the energy that I'm describing here, because I'm going to pull up the chart for a second, but we're not really doing major chart work in this discussion. Like, I want to talk about what the energy is going to feel like and what it means, like what we're going through all together right now and how it's affecting us on a personal level. So, if you feel like there's an area or in a direction of your life that you've been heading in, and then all of a sudden you need an opportunity to shift and change. Okay. All right. Like, do that, be flexible with it, and know that sometimes if we're not on our path, you know, circumstances around us will happen so it can push us back on our path. Okay. And it's not there to hurt you. It's basically like your soul and your higher self knows where your mission is in this world and in this lifetime, and where you need to go. So we can get distracted all the time. That's why I named my channel the Scenic Route, because we get off path, and we have to sometimes do that to experience or see something else. But it's really synchronistic every time it happens. Like it doesn't happen for no reason at all. But at one point, I think we reach a level in our life where we're like, okay, I'm not going to get off track anymore by that specific, sign. For instance, like say you're driving or whatever, and it's like, I don't need to take every pit stop on the way. I don't need to hit every Starbucks on the way, because a couple of times maybe you needed to go to that Starbucks and pick up the coffee, for instance, because you would have fallen asleep driving on a long road trip or something. But at one point you're like, oh, maybe I can skip that coffee ride, that coffee stop or whatever, because you realize that, it's taking you too long to get to your destination. You're going to miss the conference you're supposed to go to, or, just kind of trying to paint a picture here on how like the scenic route in life is okay. But we should learn as well while we're on the scenic route, right? We should learn from the detours and, the side roads and the experiences, right? They're never not for nothing. But sometimes we can get tripped up so much and create it such a habit that the pattern needs to change. And so that's really what I've been seeing, this transit of Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is an 84-year cycle. So none of us, unless you're a baby right now, which you're not a baby watching this, but like if you're a baby, you might see Uranus and Taurus again. All right. If you are a 1-year-old right now is going to live, well into 85, but we're not going to be around, most of us. Well, I don't think, for the next Uranus and Taurus transit. So this is a once in a lifetime type of energy that we're in, all of us in the Taurus area of our chart, but it's also heavily affecting the fixed signs. It's affecting the Leo and the Aquarius and the Scorpio placements in our charts. Pluto and Scorpio generation right now is really getting handed it to them. Like we're really trying to come into our power now, as Uranus is opposing our Plutos, especially late 1980 babies, early 1990 babies. Uranus is directly opposite our Pluto right now, and it's breaking up stuff that we've been conditioned, like within our value system, for instance, or like what we grew up thinking that we needed for survival, or what was of value to us. And I'm going to dig into this more. That's really starting to shift and change. And then we, on the other side, are reclaiming that for ourselves so that we can go into this more psychologically and really get a depth of knowledge around what we're seeing opposite of us, right? And we kind of need to regenerate ourselves. In a sense, we have to regenerate society. And in a way, I think all of society is going through that. And especially my generation, Pluto and Scorpio, 1983 to 1994, 95. Here we are. Everyone has their part, right? But specifically, even those years of people, we have a deeper level of uncovering the psychological depth around attachments and what's best for us to move forward, okay? And what's really important for us to survive on, And when I think about this, I'm like, I grew up in kind of two different eras, the 90s, because I was born in 1990. So I grew up in the 90s, but then I was also colored by the early 2000s. And then I've seen the 2010s and so, and then, how everything kind of shifted really like grungy. Like I loved the grungy, earthy era that I grew up in, and then went like super, super, super superficial. And I never really aligned with like the superficial stuff. Like, of course, I want to be comfortable and I want to have it, which I do. I have a nice home. Like I decorate my place, but those are things that are of value to me because I understand I have a Cancer moon and I have a lot of fourth house placements. Like I need to work from home. I need to feel comfortable at home. I need a clean home. These things are important and value to me. But having like, a 6,000 square foot mansion, I don't really care about that. I just care that I have like a clean, nice place to live and I have like some space and like really good lighting. Like I have this huge window here. It comes more down to those types of things, right? And this is totally like value right now, because I'm going to really dig into the values. That's values on a material plane, on a 3D plane, right? Because we have this physical body. Like, yes, we can live in 5D, 6D, whatever. You hear spiritual people talk about them living in these other realms and these other states of consciousness. We can't be there all the time because we have this physical body that is rooted here on Earth, okay? Yes, we are spiritual beings, but we are stuck in this body, in this meat suit until we die. And so we have to learn how to channel that energy through our chakra system, through our energy system, and literally create that around us. Okay. And that is the beauty of that, though. Like, that is the absolute beauty. And here I feel like I'm diving into Uranus, which represents the higher mind, channeling it into the Taurus archetype, which is earth energy, which is yin energy. It's fixed energy, but it's also tangible because it's earth, and it's also around your values and survival instincts and survival needs and resources. Okay. So I think a major part of this energy right now and what Uranus and Taurus is asking us to do is start learning how to channel our psychic abilities, and we all have them, and our higher consciousness and our higher self and everything, and our intuitive skills and our memory from past lifetimes to present, like higher consciousness, right? Pull it in. And a lot of us are able to connect to other dimensions and other realms and spirit guides. Like I'm a channel, and I'm also a medium for people. So I'm able to connect to these other realms, and you can take that information in and you can build it, and you can actually take all of that and make it an actual reality around you. So, a part of this transit, is so freaking strong because you could be able to really take everything that is important to you. Really, I feel like you should focus and meditate this on a very deep, 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 deep level, on a soul level, a multi-layered, multi-lifetime, going at the same time soul level, and bring that in and nurture that and feed that and water it. And you might be directed in a new direction, because you might realize under this week, under these heavy, heavy, crazy energies, you might realize, holy fuck, I don't want that anymore. That's actually what I want. And you might have to shift your direction and go with that, and that's okay if you have to do that. Like, that's totally, if you feel at one point, like, this isn't what I'm going for anymore. This isn't what really matters to me. Okay. For some of us, we might know this now. For some of us, we might find that in the middle of this week. And for some of us, it might happen around the transit or kind of after the transit. Okay. This transit is also making a huge square to Mercury and Leo. So I have a new moon in Leo video that's very much linked to this energy, because the new moon in Leo is happening on the 28th, on Thursday. And then this conjunction that we're talking about here is happening on the 31st, which is I think Sunday and Monday. Okay, so the whole week is really important. So definitely check out the new moon in Leo video too, because it takes in the energy around the new moon, and the lunation cycles are really important. I won't bring that in here because you can just go visit that, but it's all like layering up and connected, So I think a lot of us will figure out or might even find that certain circumstances that are happening erratically or unexpected or shifting outside of them, right? Like, oh my God, I can't help, like, we don't know what's going to happen with the media and the news right now, and the election stuff going on. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff in the United States politics, but I know other countries are going through these things too, and they're experiencing these energies too. Hey guys, it's okay. It's okay. Come here. I think a lot of people might have this moment, whether that's you or whether that's somebody in your life that you know, where they feel like a sense of their values and who they trusted in are suddenly destroyed. And there's like a devastation around this transit too that I think can come up for some of us, or you know, even if I see it, like even if I see it in the politics, like I will feel that sense to myself, even being like super strong, super grounded with where I am, knowing where I'm going, and being able to change the pattern, which I have been recently. I've made some major choices about changing my life and stuff. All of a sudden, you know, I will still feel that sense of devastation, because I'll feel like we were supposed to trust in our government and the society that, you know, our people and us and other lives have built and tried to preserve, and, you know, be a great country and be a leading example. And why would some of these people want to hurt other humans so badly in such a really, really like just awful, devastating way? You know, I just can't understand sometimes that mentality of that destruction on like another soul level. And I'm not making excuses for people who do that, but I do understand that they come from a level of anger and hate and resentment, and it's probably deeply rooted within their soul, and they could use an evolutionary astrology reading. But you know, it's going to come down, and the truth always comes out. Like, this is something that I tell my friends and my family and my personal life and every relationship I've ever had. Like, the truth will literally always come out, so I'm never worried about it. And I want to bring that to you all as well, as like, the truth will always come out. So if you're worried about stuff going on around you, just know that like the truth will prevail, and it will set its course, and it'll set it right, because goodness and light and love always wins, always 100% of the time. And I truly just believe in that, you know, I do. So it's what it is. So, you know, let's go back to why Uranus and Taurus conjunct Mars is also so important. So Mars is like our spiritual warrior planet, right? Well, I'm going to call it the spiritual warrior. You know, some people can work with their Mars in a very negative way, where, you know, they can get really heated and aggressive and attack, you know, or, you know, project even. And it depends what sign their Mars is in, but they can work with their Mars in ways that just are cutting and that are sharp and they hurt people, right? But there is a way that we can use our Mars energy in a really positive way, where, you know, we're defending, and we're going about things in a protective nature. And I hope that under this transit that people are really, if it calls for a sudden event, like something suddenly happens, that people take charge in like a protective way and not in like a defensive way, because there's a difference between that, you know. And when you can be really grounded and sure of yourself, I think that allows the human being to feel like they have to defend themselves less, because you can't change what other people are going to do, right? But you're always in control of your own energy and your own emotions. And so Uranus-Mars in conjunction in Taurus, like Uranus does rule our nervous system. You know, it is very electrical in that sense. And so, and then Taurus again goes back to the body. It also goes to the throat. So, and because this is also squaring Mercury in Leo, you could get some information in this week, again, macro or microcosm level. You could get some information that's like really like sets you off course again, or really shocks you, right? Or is really cutting, for instance, right? Or really just like changes things like so they're not the same anymore. And just you have an ability to react how you want with that, right? So yeah, we have like, I've got a couple aspects written down that I wanted to talk about. And you know what, I'll actually share the chart for this too right now so that you can see what I'm talking about here. Cool. Anything bigger? Okay. You guys know I'm like really good with yes, okay, I did that. Thank you. Oh my God. Share. Here we go. You guys know how I'm great with Zoom, apparently. Great. So yeah, where's the Taurus? Right here. So we're looking down here. You know what I mean? I have it at, 18, 18, 18. And it's squaring, of course, of course, it's opposite the South Node in Scorpio, which is a major part in this, right? And it's, squaring Mercury and Leo. The moon's going to be in Virgo over here. Don't take that in. But it's also going to be squaring Saturn retrograde in Aquarius, right? So it's like this big, giant fixed square right now, fixed cross. And fixed energy doesn't like to change. Like I have a lot of fixed energy in my chart and I understand it. Like Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, like I get it. Like it takes us like a ton of time to make a change. And that's okay because we want to be certain when life is throwing us, something. But this becomes a transit where it is that colorful explosion because the sun is in Leo, because Mercury is in Leo, and it is about voicing yourself and self-expression and saying how you feel and living in your vitality and being really vibrant about what it is that you verbally want to say or what you believe in. Okay. At this time too, Jupiter is also retrograde down here in Aries. Okay. So we're restructuring and we're revising our belief systems and what we believe in under this energy. Okay. There might be a sudden change in your life where you're like, I don't know if I believe in that path anymore. I don't know if like I can live by that standard anymore, right? Which is also significant of Saturn and Aquarius, which is also retrograde right now, right? Where, the conditions and the authority that we've been under, the crystallization of beliefs that have been passed down to us. And by crystallization of beliefs, I mean, belief standards that we have grown up with, like laws that we've grown up by, ways of living, media and how media has colored us to think like what it is or what it isn't right in society, or how we want to look or how we want to act or what we want to listen to or how information is exchanged, right? All these things that have been controlled by the government or controlled by society on like a big standard, right? On an overall standard, not in our personal lives, but kind of where we are conditioned by our culture and what we've grown up in. Well, this is all changing. Like this is really, really dramatically changing right now. We're letting this go through that Scorpio South Node. We're learning to let go of these deep psychological conditioned patterns that don't serve us anymore. I'm not saying all of them can't stay, but some of them really, really aren't helping us anymore evolve as humans, as humanity, and they're separating humanity and they're creating more, violence and anger. And we're trying to move away from that, right? We're trying to understand that we're all humans living on the same earth, breathing the same atmosphere, and we all want the same basic things. Taurus, we all want the same things. I don't think there's anybody on here that would disagree with me that you wouldn't require a comfortable home to live in, food and water, okay, and peace. It's that fucking simple. The rest is just extra, right? You just want those basic standards and those basic needs. And think about how many people around the world and in our country alone don't even have that. Don't even have that. How many people have some of that, but they don't have peace, for instance, right? Or they don't have, like, we can break it down here, right? It's so divided and stuff. And I think that I'm going to stop sharing because we don't need to, this is like a discussion, you know. A lot of us have been suppressed and oppressed, which are Saturn themes, by authority. And because Saturn has been in Aquarius and it won't be back in Aquarius for another 30 years, it really is time to break these things up. And that's what's going on in the Aquarius part of your house too, okay? And also there's one more Saturn Uranus square at the end of this year, like October timeframe, okay? So wherever Aquarius is in your chart, the suppression is being liberated. Like some part of your life that's structured, right, is asking for you to shift and to change, and it's going to affect you for the next 30 years at least. And then in the Taurus house of your chart, that's also being broken up and divided too, and it's asking you to really get grounded on what is of value to you, and also tune into like your resources and what you have. Like, this is a time to like kind of prepare on that level and to understand, do I have enough this? Do I have enough that? And if you don't, start making the changes to work for that and to get that in your possession, okay? Because Taurus does rule our possessions. And there will be a dynamic around this too. While all this energy is going on, you have the Leo new moon. I really suggest that you look into where your creativity lies and where it is that you have like a certain skill or a certain gift that you haven't tapped into yet, or maybe you've been tapping into it, but you haven't given it an opportunity to shine. I do think that that would be really important too, because there's going to be a point in this whole entire evolution where everybody's single gift that they have is going to be important, and everybody is going to have like a special skill to bring. And that's going to be super important, that that's tied into the unfolding of like the new world that we're going towards. And I hate to sound so like cliche and like new world, like everybody else, but like we are changing. And like, you can't help but look at the astrology and look at how major things are changing, okay? Like Uranus is eventually in a few years going to go into, I think I have it written down here. Yeah, in 2025, we're going to have Uranus in Gemini, okay? And that's going to be another big cycle. And then in 2023, early next year, Pluto is moving into Aquarius. So you will not see Pluto in Capricorn ever again in this life, okay? And that's going to be a big soul level backdrop, you know. Pluto has this compulsion, this compulsive, repulsive attraction dynamic to it, but it also is going to unveil deep psychological issues in the Aquarius part of our chart and in the Aquarius parts of the world. So, you know, technology, higher consciousness, trauma dynamics, like there's a big thing I want to put out about trauma and how to deal with it, because, you know, all of this stuff, Pluto's going to come in and it's going to destroy it. And it's going to ask you to have a regenerative process, because that's just what Pluto does. It's very powerful. You know, I love Pluto. Like, it's not to like be scared of Pluto. Pluto is Hades, right? It's the god of hell. But we need that archetype. We need that planet, because the more shadow stuff we unearth, the more light and the more we shine, okay? And the less baggage, the less fucking baggage you're carrying around, and the less weight you have, you know what I mean? So, and Pluto, you know, Hades wasn't born like a god of hell either. Like, he was eaten by his father, you know, and then he, you know, plotted to overtake his father. And then they had to split up the layers of the world. And Hades just decided that he was going to go to hell. Like, he was just the god chosen. It wasn't like he was born bad or he was born evil or anything like that. It's kind of just like the choice in the way of life. And that's why I have chosen like deep psychological astrology, like evolutionary, because I choose to go into those layers and those dark caves and those dark places. If you ignore them, they will come after you, you know? So it's better that you get brave and you face those dynamics. And this is something that I think, you know, the Pluto and Scorpio generation can look at right now, is like, you might be granted an opportunity to face something really big, really dark, really deep about yourself, and use it for power, and positive power, like not manipulative, bad power, like healing power, because Scorpio is incredible. Scorpio, Pluto, right? 8th house, incredibly fucking healing. This is a very powerful energy, you know. To me, Scorpio is one of the most powerful signs in the zodiac. And because you won't see it unless you're looking for it, you know, unless you're shining a light in that cave, or looking to, you know, to take out your trauma and to fight your pain and to heal yourself. And that takes a lot of effort and a lot of courage, which I think would be really important going into this week energy too, is to have the courage, and to know that you have that within you. And that's such a Mars trait as well, that when you're a spiritual warrior, like, you really have the courage to defend and to unite and you know, fight for a cause, like fight for a positive cause, if you will. So, and just to wrap up the outer planets and all of this changing, in 2023, Saturn is going to move into Pisces, you know, and so we're going to have a lot of fire and a lot of air, very little water left, and things are going to be dissolving and decaying when Saturn moves into Pisces in 2023. And we're going to be having some trauma, I think, because of that, because Pluto will be in Aquarius, and then Uranus will be in Gemini, like really stimulating our mind. And there'll be like a lot of movement going on, like sudden switches and movements and sudden changes, because that's what Gemini does, right? It doesn't stay in one place, but it also doesn't have a direction to go in. So there'll be like a lot of chaos, I think, in the beginning, because of that. And so that's why right now, right now would be a really good time to understand what's important to you, like really know that what those values are for yourself. And so, you know, I kind of wanted to leave off, because I don't know how long I've been talking for, and I hope it's not too long, but the shadow side of this will be that there could be some trauma, and that there could be some disruptions around the nervous system. And that's what I wanted to share too, is the Sabian symbol for, and I'll share the screen again. The Sabian symbol for this is a woman holding a bag out a window, okay? Taurus, 18 degrees, 17 to 18 degrees. Distortions of thought, belief, and habit purified through meditation and open-mindedness. Okay, so that goes back to being able to be flexible and agile and just like move and go with the flow and change the pattern if you need to. Okay, Mars very much is able to direct you and pick up in a new place, right? It's your will, it's your drive, it's your physical movement, it's your, you know, your assertion, okay, your assertion of your personal will, okay? And conjunct Uranus, like, be open-minded, like allow the higher consciousness to come through, okay? Oh my God, that direction, can't go in that anymore. Okay, how can I get out of this situation, right, in a new way? And the more open-minded you are, the more solutions you're going to have. So don't get fixated, okay? And I know there's a lot of fixation and fixed energy, but Saturn is in a fixed sign, retrograde. So it's like, do it your own way. The South Node is in a fixed sign. It's saying, let go of some of that fixity. And then we've got the North Node in a fixed sign, conjunct Uranus, which is a planet about liberation and shocking and breaking the pattern and changing it up. And so isn't Mars. When you think of Mars, It actually has that undertone of Aries about going in a new direction and being in your instinctual self and connecting to that instinct to change and to go in a new direction. I'm an Aries sun. I change my mind all the fucking time, and I do it if I need to. I have Mars in Aquarius in the 4th house, but if I gotta feel like I gotta follow that instinct, that sun sign will tell my Mars, okay, it's time to move. And that fixed Mars is like, but you have to do it and you have to change. Okay. So, and then, this is squaring Mercury and Leo. Okay. So, which the tension, the square, the tension of the square is about evolutionary growth. Okay. So nothing in this chart, to me, nothing about this transit is saying stay the same. It's actually encouraging something new to come in. Okay. That can be a small thing. That can be a really big thing. That's whatever it is for you in your life specifically. But just take what I'm saying, right? And just process it and maybe see how this is showing up for you. Only you are going to know. I'm not going to know. This is a general reading for everybody, but only you are going to know what that means specifically for you. Okay. So I'll keep reading. A mind that is conditioned to make judgments about right and wrong creates a prideful ego. Well, there's the Leo that limits the soul's evolution. Okay, a mind that is conditioned to make judgments about right and wrong creates a prideful ego that limits the soul's evolution. It must become open and then cleansed of bigotry and prejudice. Okay, bigotry and prejudice. So, right? We are supposed to evolve under this transit. Let yourself relax, let it go, let yourself transition. Not everything has to stay the same all the time. And we are evolving as individuals and as a society. Okay. So, the last thing that I want to leave you with is I was watching Mark Jones. Mark Jones is a freaking amazing evolutionary astrologer. And he talked about, this is like a decade ago, he gave this lecture, and Uranus and Taurus and Saturn and Aquarius, from his lecture, and I've got this, is about understanding that you are your own resource. Okay. And that is so important. So to me, this lecture is let the colorful explosion happen and understand that you are your own resource. There is a repeating pattern in this chart that we're living in right now. Saturn, which is, a planet that likes structure and having a boundary and holding something in a form and crystallizing it in a form, that planet is in Aquarius, which represents individuation, becoming your own individual self, going in a new direction, breaking the pattern, liberating yourself, right? Uranus, which is naturally a planet that is about being an individual, breaking the pattern, going in a new direction, liberation, rebellion, innovation, revolution, is in Taurus, has to do with your resources, how you provide for yourself, right? So Saturn and Aquarius, Uranus and Taurus, making square in October, and they made these squares 3 times in 2021. And now the North Node is conjunct that, Uranus and Taurus, squaring that Saturn, opposing that South Node in Scorpio, squaring that Mercury. The sun is going to hit that soon in Leo. You are the resource. If everything else fails in life, if we have no food, if we have no power, if we have no way to fucking communicate, if we have no way to heat our apartment, for instance, right? You have a mind of your own, an able body to create a fire, to walk across the street, to get a group of people together, right? To grow your own food. They can't take anything from you. Anybody can try to take anything from you, but they cannot take your ability to provide for yourself, to think for yourself, to move yourself, right? To feel everything. You, the human being, are the resource, and it is the most powerful resource that there is on the planet, is the human being. So, I mean, besides Mother Nature and some animals that could kill us, right? Just joking, but like, understand from, you know, the human perspective and the evolutionary perspective right now, and the astrology perspective, that this whole process and what we're going through as humans is to break us down to this level so that we can understand that we are individuals capable of providing for ourselves and creating the life and the society and the earth that we want to live in, and that we are the resource. Okay, so this is definitely a major, major weekend that we're heading into, and it's amazing. So enjoy it. And please let me know, please hit like and subscribe for my channel. Let me know if there's anything that really resonated or popped out for you, or any thoughts that you have. I'd love to know. And if you want to come back when the week is over and let me know, or even now if stuff's coming up for you, let me know what's been going on in your world. You know, what's your rising sign, like where are you, have any fixed planets, whatever. Connect with me. I do have a Mama Moon's meetup group on Patreon for $3 a month for the new moon on Thursday. So I'll be doing that. I'll put the link down below, and you can catch me on there live. And we can talk, you know, anything, and we can create together. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate everybody who likes and subscribes to my channel and watches my content. And please share too. Maybe this will resonate with somebody that you know. Okay. So yeah, I'll be back again later in the week, and be safe and take care and enjoy the colorful explosion. Okay. Bye.